As you come in, please go down to the chat and say hello and let me know where you're from. Good evening. Hi, y'all. As you come in, please let me know that you're here and let me know where you're from. I see that it's 8 people here and just wanting to make sure I acknowledge everyone and know where everyone's from. And find out who my co-chatters are going to be. Well, good evening, Miss Yvette Daniels. You're from California. Wow. What's the weather like in California right now? Are y'all cool? Because we're normally very hot, but we've been having 40 and 50-degree weather here in South Texas. Oh, yeah. We got a little bit of rain last weekend. For some reason, we're dry through the week, but the weekends end up wet. So when you're off of work, you don't really have a lot of time to do anything. Oh, Terrell, Texas. Okay. Now, is that North Texas? I've heard of Terrell. I think we had some family close to Terrell, Texas, because I've heard my grandfather, I remember him talking about Terrell, Texas. And do you miss being away from home, or you prefer the weather and climate in California? 30 miles from Dallas. Okay. All right. Because I've been to California once. It was San Francisco and it was on a business trip. And I guess I went at the best time of year because it was so pleasant. It was 70-degree weather the entire time. And it was just perfect sweater weather and I loved it. I was only there for a week, but I loved it. Hello, Miss Karen Hankerson. How are you doing? Tonight, I'm going to actually take these tomato plants that I grew from seed, and I'm going to separate them because I put 2 seeds. I don't know if you can tell, but I put 2 seeds in every cell. So I'm going to separate them and up pot them. Oh, were you just getting over a cold or flu? Miss Yvette, do you miss Texas at all? Bronchitis, okay. Well, I'm glad to hear that you're getting better. Are you staying hydrated with lots of warm fluids? Oh, okay. Well, you're born and raised in California, so But it's nice to hear that you miss Texas. Oh no. Yeah, lupus is nothing to play with. You're in South Carolina. Now, South Carolina, I think they're in zone 7 or 8. Um, so do you guys have a garden? You've been through Texas? What, you were going through Texas on your way to where? Or were you visiting? Oh, okay. Well, Miss Yvette, she's in Cali. Isn't it wonderful when we get to talk to each other and find out a little bit about each other, but more or less just try to connect on something common? I know we all love our DIYs and our crafts, and I'm going to be getting back into that. But I just wanted to go ahead and get my seeds starting and up potting taken care of. So, Miss Yvette, do you get to come to Texas often since you have family all over? Oh, Karen, that's okay. I'm going to start doing lives a little bit more than normal because it's easier to just come home and turn on the live and share whatever it is that I'm doing than setting everything up and, doing a whole production of a video, which I'm going to be doing those too because I love doing them. Um, life just lifes. I'm living down here close to my parents now because, their health isn't the best. So I need to be close to them. My health isn't the best either. But, you do what you can for your family, right? And those lives, they're posted so you can always go and look at the channel and look at lives, and you can see the one from last night, but it wasn't much. I just took tomato suckers that I rooted and finally put those into pots. Yeah. Is something to be said about our generation and the generations before. And Yvette, you can chime in at any time, but we were raised that you take care of your family because your family always takes care of you. Just there for a family gathering in October. Get down there in April for a debutante. Oh, wow. A debutante ball. Miss Yvette, you got to talk to me about that. I have, as soon as I read debutante ball, all kind of stuff was popping into my head. But I'm sure the decor is minimal and very classic. So while we're chit-chatting, I'm just going to be working on these. Now, last night, I let everybody know that I went a little bit crazy. Miss Karen and Yvette, I went a little bit crazy with my seed starting when it comes to tomatoes. Yes, they are very, very classy. Um, I planted 12 different variety seeds. This doesn't have anything to do with the suckers that I did last night. Those suckers are two types of cherry tomatoes. I think sweet 100 and a yellow pear tomato. Suckers, let me explain to you what suckers are, Miss Karen. Whenever you grow a tomato plant, that's one of the plants that I would have to say in God's creation, He made it to where we could have an abundance. Because on this plant, as it grows, and I'm gonna use this for an example, okay? These are tomato plants. And let me take one out. This one is gonna be the first one I do, because it just so happens that when I plant 2 seeds in each pocket, only one of them germinated. But you never know what you're gonna get, right? So let me show you this tomato plant. Okay, so here, and if you notice, I'm using the leaves to manipulate it. I'm not using the stem because this is like an artery. You don't want to pinch that off. But if you look really, really close, you see all that white looking fuzzy stuff like little hairs. So those, when they come in contact with dirt, will continue to put out roots. But as the tomato plant grows, right in here where it grows, it'll have this leaf. See how it has this little crook? See how it has this little crook in the leaf right here where it grows? Well, another leaf will start growing right in that elbow, okay? And if you don't pick it off, it's going to continue to grow. And it's a whole nother tomato plant. So because it's a whole nother tomato plant, if you let it get so long, like 3 or 4 inches, and you pop it off and you stick it in dirt, because it has those little hairs, it'll root. And that's why it's called a sucker. Because if you let it continue to grow, the main part of the plant is not going to die, but it's going to slow it down. So it sucks the life out of the main plant so that it doesn't start putting on fruit as soon as it normally would. So that's why people like to pop the suckers off. But instead of throwing them away, if you let them get, like I said, 3 to 4 inches, you can stick them in some dirt or in some water, let them root, and you got a whole new free plant. Yeah, yeah, it is pretty cool. So all I'm doing is taking the ones that I started from seed, and I'm up potting them so that they can grow bigger. And then I'll be able to put them in the garden, and some of them I'm giving away to the local community, family, you know, different ones, because I went a little crazy because you never know. You never know how many of your plants are going to make. You don't know how many seeds are going to germinate. There was 2 seeds in here, but only 1 germinated. But for the most part, most of mine, I got 2 seeds in each. So that's all I'm doing. And the good thing about it is, you know, it can be endless food. Miss Yvette, do you garden at all, even if it's like keeping house plants? What about you, Miss Karen? Y'all have house plants? Going to try with the bottom of a cucumber. I'm going to try with the bottom of a cucumber. What does that mean, the bottom of a cucumber? Houseplants. Oh, yeah. I just started putting ivies in the house, and so far so good. They haven't dried out and died yet. So I'm liking that. So what does that mean, top end? I'm going to try with the top end of a carrot, of a cucumber. What does that mean? It's supposed to root. Really? So like you buy a cucumber out of the store and you take the top part where it was in the vine. You cut it off and then like you put it in water or dirt? No, ma'am, I'm a letter carrier. Okay. Well, I'm in the house gardening. You know what, girl? Let me tell you, Yvette. I know when y'all have to be out there in those elements and dealing with the sun is no joke at all, especially if you have to deal with something like I believe you mentioned lupus, or maybe it was Miss Karen. But when you're having to be out in the sun, yeah, I couldn't imagine. You know, I work too, but I'm inside in a hospital. So, woo. Thank you for everything that you do, though, Miss Miss Yvette, getting us our mail. Cause I still love to use the United States Postal Service. So that's all I'm doing is just up potting. And this particular tomato variety is called, oh, this is the San Marzano. This is my first time ever growing a San Marzano. And it looks pretty healthy. That plant looks pretty healthy. So we're going to see how it actually turns out. Does the little, well, they're not little, but with the post office, the trucks that you guys have to drive, Miss Yvette, do y'all have air conditioning in there? Especially in California, because y'all get just as hot and humid as us. And you know what, Miss Karen, I have not heard of that, but that doesn't mean it doesn't work, because I have heard of other kitchen scraps that you can put in some dirt and then the vegetables will regrow. Depends on what it is, though. I know carrot tops will do that. You won't get a carrot, but you can get the carrot greens, which are really healthy for you. Oh man, no air, Miss Yvette? Oh man. So what do you do? Do you carry like a personal fan? Surely you carry a personal fan. Yeah. Yeah, Miss Karen. I've heard of onions too, but I haven't heard of cucumbers. So please share that with us. If that works, please share that with us, because sometimes cucumbers can be finicky. Yeah. Wow. I don't understand how our delivery persons, whether it's UPS or United States Postal Service, or if it's any of the others that deliver Brown and FedEx, I don't understand how they don't have some kind of taking another one, y'all. I don't understand how they don't have any kind of cooling when you're living or working in a place in and out of truck. I don't have personal fan. Miss Daniels, Miss Yvette, I want you to take down my email. Oh, UPS, they have air conditioning? Well, that's wonderful. But you've been at the post office for so long. I want you to take down my email. I'm going to give you my email, okay? And then I want you to send me your address. I'm going to mail you one of those little personal fans that I make and bling out. The colors I have is black, white, and pink. Just let me know which color you want, and I'm going to send it. Now, it only lasts on high for about 6 hours, I think. But it's something, and something is better than nothing, Miss Yvette. That's ridiculous. And I know that you're in and out of the truck, but first you got to drive and get into the neighborhood where you're going to work. And if it's 100 degrees like it usually gets in California as well as in Houston with the humidity, you need to have a little something. So please, I want you to let me know when you got pen and paper. Now, Miss Karen, no fans, but we have few vans with fans. Wow. But Miss Yvette, they don't have any kind of air conditioning or cooling system. And that's just, I couldn't imagine it. But you know what, Miss Yvette, when you first started working at the United States Postal Service, our weather wasn't like this. Our weather was not like this. I remember as a kid, we might have had 3 days, and they weren't back to back. We might have had 3 days of actual cold weather where you needed to wear that big old puffy jacket that mama would buy every year, right? And we could be outside all day during the summer and it didn't affect us. Our mail carrier, she has a portable fan. Yeah, well, Miss Karen, your mail carrier, yeah, it's wonderful that she's able to have that. Okay, so my email is ReinAMoeDesIGNS. So that's Reina Mo's Designs at gmail.com. Hey, Jewel, how are you? Where are you coming in from? And Miss Yvette just put in the subject line, postal fan. And then I'll get to it and I will send it to you, okay? What color? Oh, Ohio. It's cold in Ohio right now, right, Miss Jewel? Yeah, everything when we were younger, Miss Yvette, it was so much easier. Like, I don't know about y'all, but I could drink water out of the hose outside in the summertime and not have to go inside and worry about, I didn't have to worry about the taste of the hose or if I was drinking any BPAs or anything like that. During the summertime, me and my brothers and sisters, we were outside from sun up to sundown, and we didn't bother mama at all in the house. When daddy came home from work, we go inside, wash up, we would have supper, and then after we had supper, we would go right back outside, and daddy would come with us. He would be working in his garden, or he would play a little football with me and my brothers. And yes, I played football with my brothers. But times was easier back then, it seems like. It was a hard life, but we didn't know it. But how it is now, even a child can tell how bad things have gotten. I don't want to get off on a tangent, y'all, but anyway, I'm really just here to talk about gardening stuff. If y'all have any questions, and just have y'all hang out with me while I'm here. You lived in New York. Okay, yeah. Well, see, I heard about New York that they had those very hot summers. You know, Paulie Bear, he's from New York, and he mentioned a couple of times, they didn't do it often. His father, was it his father or his mom? I think it was his father. They slept out on the rooftops during certain times of the summer. Really, really interesting. See, now we're 40 degrees, Miss Jewel. Right now, our lows are in the 40s, and then our highs are 50s, 60s, depending on the day. But we've been constantly in the 40s. Yeah. You're right, Miss Yvette. It was not always extreme. And you said, let me see if I can go back and catch that. You don't mind the color. Okay. Now, Miss Yvette, I'm pretty sure I know the answer, but we doing a bling fan or we doing a plain fan? I don't think any of my subbies and my sisters like anything plain. But you have to worry if you bling it out that nobody swipes it from you. Will I be having more luxury unboxing and reviews? Yes, Miss Jewel. Actually, I wasn't sure, and I'm so glad you brought that up. I wasn't sure of how many of you guys actually enjoyed the luxury unboxing and reviews. And you know me, I like to do giveaways of the luxury things that I purchase. I like to share, you know. Now that I'm at this fine age, I don't think that, or I don't feel, I don't feel where I am with what I do. Y'all know I'm a nurse. And you know, we were poor growing up, right? I'm still poor per se. But to compare the salary I make with the salary that my parents made, they don't think I'm poor, okay? So I share. I purchased, now I'm not telling nobody when I do the video. I'm not going to tell anybody that they need to go out and purchase this because I'm sure they still have it available. But I did get the anniversary lipstick from Chanel that it's a custom glass lipstick case that's refillable, right? Obscene amount of money for a lipstick. However, I do have a daughter. She does like Chanel and she loves the lipstick colors. So this is something that I can give to her, pass down to her, whatever. So I will be doing an unboxing of that. I have it. I've had it. I just have been moving and doing all kinds of things, taking care of my parents. So anyway, I will be doing that. But just like last year, I purchased quite a few of the, and duplicates, quite a few of the holiday gifts that they give with the tweed bag that you can turn into a purse. I showed y'all how you could turn it into a purse. So I picked some up for, you know, our community to give away. I just, you know, I would love to be able to get my numbers up, but you can't get your numbers up if you're not consistent and you're not on YouTube. And I know that. Now, like I said, I'm at a place, my health is a little bit better. My parents' health for the most part is better. Of course, Daddy, he's got a procedure this coming week. I'm finding that I'm able to have a little bit more time for me in the evenings. So that's the reason why I started doing the lives. So I might be doing more lives, but well, not might be. I am going to be doing more lives, but for my weekends when I'm off, I'm going to be doing more videos. I already have one that I'll be editing soon. And because you asked about the luxury, I'm going to go ahead and do that luxury video and show those things and kind of get started on some giveaways again. Well, thank you, Miss Jewel. I try to be detailed and descriptive. Okay. All right, Miss Yvette. I'll surprise you with something plain, okay? Yeah. It's an investment. Yes, that's true. It is an investment. Because, you know, it's not something that you're going to just, this is not a lipstick that you're going to wear every day. This is not a lipstick case that you're going to take everywhere with you. You know, I throw lipsticks and lip pencils. Speaking of which, I'm going to start wearing more of that on the channel. A little bit of makeup, not much, because I'm not really a makeup girl. So a makeup girl. But I found this at Target. There's this company called the Lip Bar, TLB, right? I just recently found out that it was black owned. I didn't know it was black owned. But Target's real good about that, I understand. But anyway, I digress. I found a lip gloss. I picked it up because I thought it was a lipstick because it was so pigmented. So when I read that it said it was a gloss, I was like, oh, okay, no big deal. You know, it's a gloss. Oh my goodness. This thing wears like a lipstick. It is pigmented like it's a lipstick. And all I can say is, oh my gosh, beautiful, beautiful red lip. So I will be wearing that. I will be sharing that with you guys. And just so you know, this had two. So I'm just gingerly separating it. Okay, so they're separate now. And I'm putting one in this pot, and then I'll do one in the other pot. Yeah. Now, let me tell you something about mascara and lipstick. Honestly and truly, for us women, that's all we need. Something that's going to accentuate our eyes because, you know, our eyes, I feel, are the most beautiful part of our faces and male faces, right? And lipstick so that we don't look dead. So, yeah, I agree. Lipstick and mascara. Now, I don't know if you guys can tell, but I do have lashes naturally, right? But they're so fine and they're short and they're straight. They stick straight out. So I always, if I don't wear any falsies or get the extensions, then I don't put on mascara because you can't even tell with the mascara that I have anything on. So I'm looking for a really good mascara. Years ago, we used to wear the Maybelline Great Lash, right? And it worked while I was a teenager, but I didn't really know and I wasn't focused um on my lashes, you know, because we are used to put on falsies, so it wasn't a big deal. But now that I'm older, I don't want to have to be putting on falsies. With my health conditions, I don't want to make anything worse potentially by putting something artificial, synthetic, whatever on my face, let alone glue that close to my eyes, because you know our eyes are mucous membrane and it easily sucks in whatever you put on it. So we shouldn't probably, in my humble opinion, I don't think we should be wearing glue on our eyelashes. You know, now y'all know I was an avid eyelash extension wearer. I'm not anymore. I'm not anymore. You know, having these parathyroids, the tumors, I don't want anything on my face that's really artificial. I really don't. My mama would say, put color on. Yes, yes. You know, my mom would say, don't leave the house without your lips and your eyes on. I had a girlfriend, Brenda, and I still have. I haven't seen her in a while though. She used to say that never get in your car without your lips and your lashes. So yeah, I'm working on growing mine again with castor oil. Miss Karen, have you started using the castor oil yet? Because I've heard about that. I haven't tried it yet, but I have heard about it. Miss Jewel, do you have a garden or house plants? I'm really curious about the castor oil. I've recently, and you know how social media are, they blow stuff up. And their statements don't even have to be real, unfortunately. Um, which I don't like. I don't like being lied to. That's another reason why, you know, who is it? Flavor Flav said, don't believe the hype. So test things out and see, and then give me a report back. Yes, but not regular now. When I did, they did grow. Oh, okay, okay. So maybe I will give it a look-see. But my aunt keeps on saying I should have a small garden on my balcony. Okay, so are you in an apartment or a townhome? An apartment, okay. Does your balcony get 6 hours of sunlight? Because if it doesn't get 6 hours of sunlight, it's going to be kind of hard to grow anything. Um, Baby girl found that out last year. She started tomatoes and basil, and they grew beautifully until they got to about four. The tomatoes got to about like maybe 4 inches, right? And the basil, it looked absolutely beautiful, but it just stopped growing because she didn't get enough sunlight. So I bought her an arrow garden, and I don't know if she did anything with it or not. Yes, because if you get 6 hours of sunlight, you will be able to successfully grow most vegetables, you know, that are most vegetables that are full sun. I thought when I first started gardening that here's two plants I'm going to separate again. I thought whenever I started gardening that full sun meant just that, out in the blazing sun here in Texas from sun up to sundown. And no, that's not what it means, y'all. It means anywhere from 6 minimum hours to 8 hours of direct sunlight. That's it. So if you have an area in your yard that you would like to have a garden, and you notice in the morning you've got good sun, and then around 12, 1 o'clock, the sun starts to fade because you know it's setting on the other side. As long as you have 6 good hours, that's a good spot where you could put a garden. How did what work? Karen, what is your question? How did what work? Oh, just let me show y'all. I'm just taking it and just at the bottom, gingerly just pulling. Now, some of the roots I'm sure are gonna snap, but there'll be enough that they will be okay. The plants will be okay. And see these, just slowly, gingerly pull, and then they're separating. Okay? And these are San Marzano. I wish I had sun in my apartment. Yeah. But you know, they have these little, and one day I'll show you guys my little indoor growing setup. I have different types of grow lights. I have really inexpensive ones, and I have ones that are about $60, $70, right? Just a couple. You'd be surprised what you can do indoors. You can grow some food indoors if you felt like you needed to. Yeah. Now, some of my plants have full sun. These seedlings I started inside, so they're in a grow tent, a tiny grow tent, but nevertheless, it's still a grow tent, right? So I'm doing these starts in that. I have containers in the front yard of this house. And then at my parents' house, they have a property where we put in a garden, and I put in a bunch of raised beds. So I'm going to take you all along on that journey. Because Daddy enjoys gardening. It helps with his it helps with our depression and our mood. So yeah, I don't really think Daddy has depression like I do. But he does have moods. He does have mood changes. You know, we all do. You know, especially when you're sickly and you don't feel well. Um, so anyway, but he's not crotchety yet, y'all. Not yet. But he will let you know if you do something or say something he didn't appreciate. Oh, Well, Miss Yvette, I try to be knowledgeable on anything that I'm going to talk to you guys about. Trust and believe I don't have all of the knowledge because I'm still learning. And a lot of the things that I'm sharing with you guys is stuff that I'm, excuse the expression, but regurgitating that I've learned from my daddy, from different YouTubers. Like, I do like to watch Homestead Heart. I don't know if you guys know her, but I do like to watch her and other gardening channels. But I try to watch the ones um that I mesh with the best. Frederica, hi, how are you? Welcome. I have a light as my son. I know it's not the same, but they grow. Yes, ma'am, they do. I was just talking about my little seedling station. And yes, ma'am, they do grow. They definitely do grow. Having a light is better than putting it inside of a window that faces the sun. But if that's all you have is a window that faces the sun, then try it. If you have a balcony or even a patio that gets 6 hours of sun, you're good. Don't think that you can't lift it up on a table on your patio or your balcony and put those pots on top of it so that they can get direct sun. You can do that too. I was talking to my daughter about that. She just went ahead, and I went ahead and got her the Arrow Garden. So I'm hoping this summer that she actually listens and tries again, because she really did enjoy growing those tomatoes and basils, and it really hurt her heart that they got so far and then they just stopped growing. But she gave them to me, and I was able to put them in the backyard garden, and they took off. So she was able to get some of the fruits of her labor. What inspired me to start my garden? Great question. So I wanted peace. I wanted peace. And I just wasn't seeming to find peace, I started reading my Bible heavy, and praying, staying prayed up because you have to. And so I just said, you know what? He started, that's God. He started his first family in a garden. And when we pray, the first prayer we all learn from our parents, besides the one we learn at the table, that God is good, God is great, right? Is the Our Father prayer. So if you really look at that prayer, we're asking him, Our Father who art in heaven, holy be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. If we're praying for his will to be done in his kingdom of heaven to come down on this earth and clear out all of this mess, that's what we're praying for. And he's going to do that in his time. I need to know how to work in a garden and make things grow, because that's where he put our original parents, right? He put them in a garden so that they could beautify the earth and fill it and have everything that they need for that. So getting that revelation, I said, okay, maybe that's where you'll find peace. And I tell you, in just walking in the garden and seeing, oh, this tomato hornworm is eating up my tomato leaves, I got to take care of that. Or, oh, this tomato is loaded with suckers and got all kind of fruit on it, but none of my fruit will ripen. I need to take care of those suckers. Or, and I'm using a tomato as an example, not just because I'm working on the tomatoes, it's that is the plant that gave me the most joy in taking care of, because there was actual things that I could do to help this plant thrive. So that's what made that's what made me start wanting to do a garden. And it really has elevated my mood. It really has. Okay. Okay, Miss Frederica. Um, the name of the light. Give me 1 second and I'll go grab it. And I'll grab a bottle of water. I'll be right back, y'all. Okay. All right. It is called the Aglex. Now, this is one of the lights, right? And this is the one that, you see, it shows you here that it's 3 different types. It's this one, and this one. I got this one because it fits the rack that I have, which is like 3 feet by maybe 1.5 foot. And I picked that up like at Costco. I want to say I got it at Costco a long time ago. And it just happens to fit in that 3x3 tent that I purchased. If you guys are interested, I'll probably tomorrow or the day after put links to this and the tent and stuff like that. But I got some that I don't have the paperwork on, but I just got it. They are flat, really flat. And they are probably about like this long and this wide. And you get 4 in a pack. And it's enough because you get these little twisties that you can twist them together. So I've twisted them together and putting all 4 of them together. They're like a little bit bigger than this one here. So it fits on the shelf completely. And it gets nice and bright too. And that one, I want to say, was like $25 and you got 4 lights. So I'll put that in the description box, but give me a couple of days. But like I said, there are 3 sizes to this. I have this one because it was the cheapest one and it would fit on my rack. But I looked at the price first. And I want to say that it was under $70. I think it was like $66. And then there was either $10 off or 10% off. But like I said, in a few days, I'll put the link. But I also have the little tube grow lights that come 2 to 3 on a little clippy that you clip onto the shelf, and you can bend it and fan it out so it can go over multiple plants. I have some of those. I'm going to show y'all my setup. That'll end up being one of my videos, maybe in a week or so. I'll show y'all that video. But yeah, just whatever it is that I can do, that's what I do. I'm not working on anything in particular. Whatever you can do to grow, grow. Because here at this house, I can put a garden in, but I haven't done that yet because I've noticed with those big trees in the yard, there's not really a lot of sunlight. So I say I have to be home long enough to watch in the backyard for a day and to watch in the front yard for a day. But I did start growing vegetables in the front in containers that I picked up from Amazon, Dollar Tree, Aldi's. Yeah. Yeah, Miss Karen. Daddy had us weeding the garden, and that was how we learned the bulk of what we knew. Yeah. So you start plants and then you give them away. It's funny because I ended up starting, I don't know if you heard me before, I started 12 different seeds of plants of tomatoes. And you see I'm separating the San Marzano. Of the 12 different varieties, I've only done one row of repotting. So this video, I don't want it to be too terribly long. So obviously I'm not going to get through all of these with you guys tonight, but it's so funny. Some of them will be going in my dad's garden. Some of them will go in my little container that I have over here. But some of them I'll be giving away also to different neighbors and my brothers because they have houses and land too. My baby brother, he has his own little farm, I want to call, because he has a pig. He's got horses. I want to say he has yeah, he does. He has a cow and he has a baby calf. And all kind of other pets, right? But he doesn't really do much in chickens. He doesn't really do much of anything because he works so much. But he has a tiny garden for all the land that he has. He has a tiny garden. And my oldest brother, he has a backyard, and it's a nice sized garden that he's got for a backyard. I have an arrow garden too. Oh, really? Tell me about it, Frederica. What happened with the arrow garden? Thank you, Miss Jewel. Spell that. Thanks, Jewel. That's exactly what it is. Aglex. Okay, cool. So what happened with the arrow garden? What broke and they couldn't replace it? And what was the reason that they couldn't replace it? Oh, and just to let you guys know, this soil that I'm using, I don't know if you can see it so well, but I showed you guys last night. This is Dollar Tree. This soil is from the Dollar Tree. At the Dollar Tree, you can find compressed cocoa coir, and they have these small 4-quart bags of potting soil. I mix them together. I rehydrate and sterilize this with hot boiling water. And with the rest of the hot boiling water, I pour it over the potting soil to kill whatever might be living in it as well. Let them rehydrate overnight, mix them together. And if I am just starting seeds, I will just start the seeds in the cocoa coir. If they are seedlings like this, I mix the potting soil into it, and then I sterilize that, right? And then I do worm castings. That way I can put back good bacteria and fungi, and it will feed the plants. My piece that stopped working, they didn't give me good reason. I just couldn't get a replacement. Wow. Yeah. Well, it's going to be $250 because you're using this and that combined together. But cocoa coir is not cheap. And, you know, it's not a real soil, right? But it's a growing medium that seeds tend to like because it's easy for them to bust through because it's fluffy once it's reconstituted. But the thing is, you can get a block of cocoa coir about like this, and it's made from coconut husk, y'all. Peat moss. The thing about peat moss, Miss Karen, you can substitute peat moss. You have to hydrate it well. And if it gets too terribly dry, it's going to take time to hydrate it. That's why I use boiling water. Yeah. You have two of them. Only one of them broke? Or did both of them stop working? Yeah, I only bought one for baby girl because I wanted to try it out. Yes, ma'am. And hey, I know how you feel when you pay good money for something and it doesn't last. Or you pay good money for something and it never shows up. So guys, I'm probably going to do a video on it, but this will be the first one that I tell you guys about. I think I mentioned it last night. I'm not sure. But the $1.25 tree, I already don't like going in there, right? And I don't go like I used to. You know, I practically lived in the Dollar Tree at the beginning of my channel, and I would go in there and it wasn't nothing for me to drop $100+ every time I went in there, right? Not no more. If I go in there, which is rare, it's very specific. And most of the time I see what I want online and I order it, and I only go in there to pick up what I ordered, right? Because I don't want to be giving them all kinds of money and it's $1.25 now. That 25 cents hurts me. I don't know why it hurts my heart, but it hurts my heart. Even though I know that inflation is real, right? And I know everything has gone up. But the things that you offer for $1.25, why can't you just offer them at $1 when you have the plus section where you're charging $5 for almost everything in there? You're making up the difference because that's stuff you got from China. And I know because I've bought stuff in bulk from China, you know, for different businesses and what have you. It's not costing you $5. It's not costing you more than $1.25 for those $5 pieces. And for these $1.25 pieces, you're probably getting those at 20 to 25 cents each because you're buying so much in bulk. So you didn't have to go up that 25 cents on us. Leave the things that are $1. But anyway, that's my rant. But I bought some railing 7-inch pots. I ordered them last year, paid for them. They sent me the wrong thing. I ordered them again this year. They said they delivered it and it wasn't there in the store, so I have to wait for them to refund me my money. No, just give me the pots. This is 2 times I ordered the same pots, 2 different years. Y'all had them on your website and I still don't have my pots, and these are meant for my strawberries. So now I got all of these strawberry crowns in my refrigerator that I'm going to have to put in different pots and not the ones that I wanted to put them in. And these pots will be very perfect for, they're perfect for strawberries. Let's see, I missed some. Allergic to coconut. Just one, okay. Well, do you like the Aero Garden? You're just upset with the way they were dealing with you with not replacing the part that was broken. My daughter, and she didn't have time for it. Oh, okay. Beer prices are going up again. Yes, they are. Yes. Yes, they sure did, Miss Jewel. They sure did. You know those little bitty 3 container vertical planters? You know, they have the small ones that had 3. Well, now they're only 2. So you're right, they are lowering the size. Yes, Miss Karen, I do remember that. And you know what's so funny? I remember putting it in dirt. But when my kids did it, they did it in paper bag and plastic. No, paper napkins or paper towels and Ziploc baggies in the window. Miss Yvette, I don't know if they still do this now, but I can say 20 years ago they did. 20 years ago they did. And you know, it was part of science class. It was part of science class. So I would be surprised if they don't do it. Now, they did it with my son. I never asked my daughter. I never asked Helena um, if they ever did it. I just assumed that they did. But I know they did it in Morris's class. Yeah. Guys, you know we've been on here an hour already? And it's 7 of you guys that have attended, although I've only gotten to speak with Miss Yvette, Miss Karen, and Miss Jewel. And then Miss Frederica came. I really appreciate you guys. I really do. I'm probably going to go live again on Friday. I don't know what I'm going to do though. I think I'm probably going to try and do a craft on Friday. Yeah, I think I'm going to probably do a craft on Friday. Really, Miss Karen, we didn't do potatoes. So how do you make a potato sprout? I just thought when a potato was ready, it would sprout. Yeah. Oh, well, that's good, Miss Yvette. Because I honestly, when my kids were in school, my son was starting to learn cursive. And I want to say the 3rd grade. But 2 years later, when Helena went through school, because, you know, they're 2 years apart, they didn't teach them cursive, but I did because I wanted them to know how to do both. So it's real enlightening to find out that they're bringing it back. Water and toothpicks. Okay. Okay. Are we talking about sweet potato? Miss Karen, the water and toothpicks, is that with a sweet potato? Because I'm going to try that. I have a sweet potato sitting over there by the sink. And I was just trying to figure out if I wanted to do it with a cup that's opaque that you can't see, if it makes a difference between that or if you do a glass. Because every time I've seen it done, they do it in a clear glass so you could see through. Does that matter? Wow. Yeah. See, Morris and Helena are 23 and 21. So, maybe Miss Yvette, it's because it's in California, but here in Texas, they were still teaching cursive back when they were in 3rd grade, when Morris was in 3rd grade. And then by the time Helena got to 3rd grade, they weren't teaching it anymore. But I taught her. And she has beautiful penmanship. My penmanship isn't the best. Can you believe that it took me an hour just to plant 5 plants because I've been running my mouth? Half water in and out, clear was better. Okay. South Carolina does not. Okay. All right. Well, you know what, Miss Karen, I'm going to try that. And then the castor oil on the lashes, I'm going to try that as well. And see what happens, because I would like to see. Sorry, weird. No, I enjoy this. Y'all are my company. And I haven't had company here in a while. South Carolina does not teach cursive. Okay. It's okay. Thanks, Miss Yvette. I really enjoy all of y'all's company. Mm. Yeah. Well, maybe the cursive is only being taught in certain areas, but it is a good thing to know. You know, how is a person, especially if they end up going in the medical field, and I'm going to go there obviously because that's my, area. Now, most doctors, everything is in the computers, right? But there are certain prescriptions that they can't send electronically and they have to give a hard copy when they're discharging the patients. Those doctors write in cursive and chicken scratch still. If they would print, then yeah, or manuscript, whatever they want to call it, then it's a little easier to be read, but they don't. They write in cursive because, they're older and they're with us. So we learned cursive. So when you have younger people that get these prescriptions from the doctor, they can't even read what the prescription says. Thank God the pharmacists can most of the time. But they should learn cursive. I think everybody should learn cursive. Even if you choose not to use it, you should learn it. And I'm just so thankful that y'all reminded me about the potato because I've never done it. But I know in science class I would see it. I would see it in my grandmother's window in her kitchen. And by the time, I don't know how old that thing was, but it was full of slips. So it just looked like a pretty vining plant to me, like an ivy. I always thought it was an ivy. I learned out later that that's not what it was, but yeah, I've never tried it, but I said I was going to do my sweet potato slips, but I was just going to stick it in some soil. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Pharmacists are young. But you know what? I have not seen a whole lot of younger pharmacists when I go by CVS. The pharmacist assistants, yeah, they're younger, but the actual pharmacists, PharmDs, they've all been gray hair too. But I know that their time is coming. And in the hospital, we have they're probably in their 30s, but they write in cursive. So they learned cursive. The ones coming after them, no, I don't think they would have. Okay, so you say try both, whether it's a sweet potato or a regular potato, because I did buy some seed potatoes from either Home Depot or Lowe's, the same place where I got the strawberry crowns that are in the refrigerator. Oh, and from the Dollar Tree, I did find these little planting cups that are for basil and daisies and tomatoes. I didn't buy the tomato and strawberries. So the daisy and the strawberry and cone flour, I bought those. So I'm gonna try those and I'm gonna end up doing those probably on a video. And we're gonna see how those turn out. Those are supposed to be wild strawberries, alpine strawberries. Or bedside manner. Yeah, bedside manner. Bedside manner for years, though, has been an issue. A lot of times, unfortunately, when some of these MDs make the name for themselves on whatever their specialty is, they lose their bedside manner. You know, they may have started off nice in school and while they were doing their rotations, but they tend to lose the bedside manner. I would say 5 years in. 5 years in, after they finish, they tend to lose bedside manner. And don't know why that happens. That ego just takes off. It really does. But anyway, You ladies, it's been so wonderful speaking with you all. Thank you so much, Miss Jewel, Miss Yvette, Miss Karen, Miss Frederica. I'm going to have to call it a night. And I'll pick up tomorrow where I left off. But y'all have a wonderful evening tonight. Rest well and have an awesome day tomorrow. Bye-bye, y'all. You're right, Karen. It doesn't cost anything to be kind. And when you're kind, you're storing up treasures in heaven. So always remember that when these people are going around here driving like they don't know what they're doing, you got to give them grace. Good night, y'all.